Today's video is going to be all about blush, more specifically the blush tag. Now this is a new tag that's going around. I don't know specifically who started it, so if you do, let me know in the comments down below so I can give them credit. But anyways, lately I have been kind of wanting to do like an updated top 5 favorite blushes or like something along those lines. So when I saw these questions I was like, yes, this will be perfect because then I can talk about more things than just kind of my favorites. This way I can kind of talk about some blushes that I don't really like and don't really recommend as well. If you've been around my channel for a while, or even if you're fairly new to my channel, you probably already know that I am obsessed with blush. It is my favorite makeup product. I hoard it, I collect it, I have an entire drawer of blush. So let's go ahead and jump into the questions. I have a ton of products here to talk about, so let's jump into it. So the first question in this tag was best packaging. Now this was definitely a hard one to choose, but I ultimately ended up picking the Clinique Cheek Pop blushes. I only have one of these. This is in the shade Ginger Pop, but I love the packaging of these. I think it's so fun and unique. It's like a clear acrylic, and then the blush is actually in the shape of a little Gerber daisy. Question number 2 is the prettiest color. Now for this one I chose the blush that I'm actually wearing today, and this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in Glisten. This color is absolutely beautiful. I am a sucker for anything that has like a ton of gold shimmer in it or like a gold duochrome. It's just my absolute favorite. And that is exactly what this blush is. It's just a really nice medium warm peachy kind of pink, with just like loaded with like a really soft subtle gold shimmer. I've talked about this product before, but it's what I have on my cheeks today, like I said, and it just gives such a nice glow because of that shimmer. You can definitely skip a highlight with it. Next up is the most pigmented, and for this I definitely had to choose my Becca blushes. These blushes are so intense. Like they are a blush that I have to be really careful when applying them actually to make sure I'm not overdoing it. So I will usually apply them with like a dual fiber stippling brush. I have 3 of them here and I'm gonna swatch them quickly. The first one is Flowerchild. That's just like one little swipe. They're so insanely pigmented. Like if you want amazing color payoff, these are the ones to go for. Another quick swipe, that's Songbird. And then finally I have Gypsy, which is right here. Yeah, that one's a little bit lighter, so it's a little bit harder to see. And that actually brings me to question number 4, which is everyday blush. For this, I also chose Becca. I chose their Flowerchild blush, which I swatched right here. And the reason I think this is a good everyday blush is because it's just like the perfect feminine wearable pink. I've mentioned before that I think this is a really great blush option if you're not as like high maintenance and like obsessed with blush as I am and you don't need like 30 different options. I think this is a really good one to go for if you just like really natural, pretty kind of makeup. If you've been around my channel since like last spring and summer, you know that I was like obsessed with this and I was wearing it every single day. Question 5 was party blush, which I was kind of like, I don't really know what that means, so I just chose what was kind of like the most fun color in my collection. And this is a blush by Marc Jacobs. This is in the shade Outspoken, and this is so pretty. It's like a really light lavender blush. It shows up quite pink on your skin, especially if you have like warmer undertones. It comes across as just like a light pinky kind of purple, but if you have cool undertones it shows up more true to color. Yeah, I just thought it was like the most fun and the most unique, so that was my choice for my party blush, I guess. Next up we have a blush that I regret purchasing. For me this was super easy, and I chose the Physicians Formula Nude Wear blush. This is in the shade, I don't even know, Rose, I guess. This looks so pretty. Like the packaging is so cute. It's like baby pink and rose gold, and it's really cute when you open it as well. It's like a little tiled design, and when you buy it there's like a glitter overlay on top of the letters in here, so it looks even prettier when you haven't touched it. But this just has zero pigmentation, like zero color payoff. You swatch it, you get it on your finger, it's really light looking, you can see it there. And then you go to swatch it and it's just like chalky nothingness. This actually made it into my products I regret buying video way back when, because Physicians Formula isn't really cheap for the drugstore either. Like it's around like $19 or something like that, so that was definitely a big bummer. I definitely regret purchasing it. Number 7 is the least used blushes in your collection, and for me this is definitely the Milani Rose blushes, I think these are called, and I have them in the shade Tea Rose and Coral Cove. I've had these for like almost a year, and honestly I don't think I've really used either of them. They're kind of like too pretty to use. I don't want to ruin the design. The rose design is set fairly deep in there, so I think it would take quite a while to wear them down, but yeah, I don't know, I just don't reach for these blushes for some reason. I'm filming with natural lighting, so I'm sorry for the drastic lighting change just now, but they're really pigmented, they're beautiful, I just don't reach for them for some reason. Next up is most used slash would never want to let go of. This first one I'd be okay with letting go of it, but it's definitely my most used, and that is NARS Orgasm. I currently have it in this little trio here, and you're probably like, that doesn't even look like you've touched it, but I've actually used up a complete full-size NARS Orgasm blush in the past, and I've never done that with any other blush, so it is definitely hands down my most used. Like the fact that I've even used up an entire blush in my lifetime like blows my mind. Well, I think it was probably like one of the first high-end blushes I ever bought, and I still love it. I just don't reach for it as often. I'm trying to use up this little trio. If you guys saw my products I want to use up video, it was in there. So I will probably be wearing it a lot more in the upcoming months anyways. And then for one I really don't ever want to let go of and that I have used a lot, this one is super old. This is from the Sephora Pantone Universe collection. I think like 4 years ago now, when the color was Tangerine Tango, I believe it was. And this is a blush duo from them. It has two different shades. They're called Coral and Desert Flower. I have used these so much over the years and they're still some of my favorites. The pans are really deep so you can barely tell. I've hit like the tiniest little bit of pan on that one. But these blushes are so pigmented and like I wish Sephora would come out with more blushes like this. Their swatch there. Really, really pretty. This is something that, like I said, I never want to let go of. It's still a favorite of mine to this day. And every year when Sephora comes out with their like Pantone Universe collection, I'm always praying that they'll come out with something like that again, but it never happens. Next we've got favorite blush brand, and for this I had to go with Too Faced. I love Too Faced blushes. I love the packaging. The products are such good quality. They have beautiful color selection. I just love everything about them, which takes me to my next category. Or our next category, which is your favorite blush discovery in the past year, and that is hands down my Too Faced Love Flush blush palette. I have raved about this so much on my channel. I have a full review on it. I'll have that link down below, and this is still available on Too Faced website, so definitely check it out. This is what it looks like. It's beautiful. It's everything. Number 11 is Most Practical, and for this I chose another blush that I raved about so much in the past, and it is Benefit Rockateur. Now the reason I chose this is because it is the most like universally flattering blush ever. It goes with any single look you can possibly imagine. I'm not over exaggerating or anything. It goes with everything. Just has a nice soft sheen, so it's not overpowering with any look, but it still gives you a nice amount of color and like warmth to your cheeks, so it's not too like neutral or anything like that and washes you out. It's just kind of the perfect balance. It's kind of like a soft peachy rose gold kind of color, I think is how it's described. If you don't have it already, you need it. Then on the flip side of that, the next one is Least Practical Blush. Now I don't have any like colors really that I find super impractical, so I chose this product for the application and kind of packaging style of it, and this is the YSL Babydoll Kiss and Blush. This is in shade number 5. Now from the name Kiss and Blush, this is meant to be like a dual purpose kind of product, so you're supposed to be able to use it on your lips and your cheeks, and it looks kind of like a nail polish honestly, and you pop it out and there's like a little kind of like sponge doe foot, not a doe foot, it's kind of different, but a little sponge tip applicator. And the texture of this is so nice. It's kind of like a whipped like moussey texture, and it blends out really well. I did quite a bit there, so it's like really pigmented. You would need just like the tiniest drop of it, but I find the application style, I just don't end up reaching for it. I don't think I've ever used this, and I got it in gratis when I work for Sephora, so it's not a big deal because I got it for free. Most expensive blush in my collection is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting blushes. I believe these blushes are, I think, $48 Canadian, which is like crazy, and I'm holding 3 of them here. I actually have 5. The only one I don't have, I believe, is Luminous Flush. I told you guys I have a problem. That's like $250 in just one type of blush. Like, it's a lot. I reach for these more when I'm doing natural kind of makeup looks, and they are just beautiful. They're so flattering. They are blushes that are infused with the different ambient lighting powders. So they all have a different kind of luminous effect on the skin. They are beautiful. And finally, this is question or category number 14, and that is least expensive blushes. Now for this, definitely the e.l.f. blushes hands down. I had 2 of these. I gave one to my mom though, but these were $4 at Target when we had Target in Canada. It's definitely the cheapest blushes I own, and I don't really like these. That's why I gave away one to my mom, and she actually really likes it. But these are just like so like powdery and chalky. You get so much powder like kicking up when you touch them, and this one is just kind of, it's got like kind of a chunky glitter in it, and it's just not that flattering, especially when you factor in that it is kind of chalky and powdery. Yeah, that was my version of the blush tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That was kind of my favorites and my least favorites and kind of everything in between categorized. Definitely comment down below and let me know what your favorite and least favorite blushes are. Let me know if you love any of the blushes that I mentioned as well. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and of course if you are new to my channel, hit subscribe down below because I really appreciate it. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram as well, and I will talk to all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys! I typically would not be filming an unboxing because of how late this is, but like I said, this is my final month with Birchbox. For those of you who don't know, February was Birchbox Canada's last month. If you've